All right, so the documentary everyone is talking about right now is called The Age of Disclosure. It's on Amazon Prime. It came out about a week ago, and it is a documentary that you got to watch. I'm telling you. Now, some people say they don't care about conspiracies and this stuff is not that important, but I think that's cap. I mean, let's be real. There is no bigger question as to whether or not we are alone in the universe. And for some people, it's too much of an ontological shock to their worldview that they try to pretend that this thing is not important. But let's get real. This is the most important issue of our lifetime, of the age. And yes, we are in the age of disclosure. One of the things I loved about this documentary is that for a long time, this subject matter has been delegated to the realm of the conspiracy, tinfoil hat wearing, flat earthers, hippies that wear crystals, and are talking about channeling the Pleiadians and the Arcturians and all that kind of stuff. But this is a conversation to be had at the adult table now. This is not something built of air and imagination. And one of the things I loved about the doco is rather than relying on theories from kooks and whatnot, they went straight to the source. You have the highest ranking officials, people that are within the deep state, sometimes people that have worked on these recovery programs, people that are hell, the Secretary of Defense, Marco Rubio, is openly speaking about how he's seen the evidence, and yes, this stuff is legitimate. And let's be very clear about this. We're not talking about just flying objects in the sky. I mean, the reason they're calling them UAPs now, right? There's a lot of reasons as to why that term has been coined. But specifically, it's to clarify the fact that we're having these objects traverse space, air, water as if it were nothing. I mean, these aren't just flying objects. They're moving through different environments, and we understand so much more about the technology that is in play right now. But specifically, what's going on is that these extraterrestrial craft, right, they are not man-made. They have found biologics on board. They have reverse engineering projects in place, and it is pretty much like the Manhattan Project on steroids. This is something the United States government has been doing for about 80 years now. MJ-12 was formed during 1947 by Truman in order to figure out what was going on here. And of course, all the members are dead now, but they have successors. And there is a deep state element where the people that are essentially protecting this information are keeping this information from the part-timers, the presidents, that a lot of the times are not briefed into what's going on. But specifically, the most compelling thing about this documentary is that this is an issue of national security in the sense, and this is something I hadn't even thought about, right? I mean, this is something that is going on not just in the United States, but in China, in Russia. They've all recovered their own extraterrestrial crafts, and they have at least one of these. And they're all trying to develop these weapons, trying to figure out their anti-gravity technology, which has been openly acknowledged now, and they're faster than light travel. It sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, but this is the reality of the situation. They have these flying craft, and this is coming from the hand of not just the many, many testimonies from people, right, but from the people that are actually working in government that are trying to force the hand of the deep state in order to come out with this information. But because of this space race, essentially the United States is in a situation now where they don't want to have a country like China get first strike capabilities and reverse engineer this technology so much that they become the minor players now. So there is this game that's been played where everyone's racing to recover this technology to better exploit it. And the fact that this has been a real issue where many of these extraterrestrial crafts, and there are many different types, mind you, have been disarming nuclear sites, so much that this has become an issue for Russia, the United States, and so forth. And it's so refreshing to hear this stuff spoken about, not as if it is conjecture now. The evidence, I mean, don't let anyone get this twisted for you, right? The evidence in regards to this is such that it is coming from the highest ranking officials, people that are claiming to have worked on these recovery programs, that have actually seen this craft, have been incited, have also made encounters with the extraterrestrial non-human entities. We're talking about people that are you're supposed to be electing, right? I mean, this is the governmental system that are telling you what's going on, and there are people that want to pretend as if this stuff is not credible, because understandably, look, it's such a shock to anyone that has not been following this subject matter. It sounds like something out of like Star Wars, Star Trek, and Stargate all combined, and there are elements of all of those things within that, because a lot of the times art reflects reality, and there's always a bit of truth in regards to some of these TV shows, right? But we are here. This information is coming out. This information is real. This is the kind of information that is it is changing the world. Granted, it's going to take a lot of time for people to assimilate this properly, and there are going to be a lot of people in the same realm of flat earth that deny this stuff being real, right? Even hundreds of years after we've seen the evidence. But it is slowly coming out. And it's going to reach a point where the earth is going to have to be faced with the reality that this is something that the entire planet has been dealing with for a long time. Not just the last 80 years, not just the last 100 years, but quite possibly longer than we've been around here. And there are many more secrets to come, ladies and gentlemen. Believe me, we have not even scratched the surface of what is going on. I was covering this stuff since year 8. And I'm telling you, man, it's so refreshing to see some of these truths hit the public consensus, the zeitgeist. Anyway, let us know in the comments below what you think. And as I always say, there are 3 things that cannot remain hidden for long: the sun, the moon, and the wisdomatic truth bombs of yours truly, the Esoteric Noetic.